A little while ago, I built the LEGO The Legend of Zelda Great Deku Tree 2-in-1 set as the Ocarina of Time version. It's a great set with loads of secrets, but it can be built another way, as the Breath of the Wild version. But the trees themselves use many of the same pieces, so you can only build one at a time. You build the base before you're offered a choice about halfway through the manual for which tree you continue with. Today though, we're looking at the Breath of the Wild version specifically. I'm gonna see how difficult it is to revert the model back to the halfway decision point and continue with the other build from there. But first, there's the smaller model I neglected to build in my first video, the Master Sword's pedestal. Like Link's treehouse, this can be built regardless of your choice of tree, and comes with a few minifigures. Link, holding a traveller's sword and shield, and Zelda, who comes holding the Sheikah slate. Like the Ocarina of Time minifigures, these two have reversible heads with different facial expressions, and have extra equipment hidden in the set. This kit also comes with another character, though he's a little large to be a minifigure. It's Hestu, the Korok who upgrades Link's equipment capacity in return for Korok seeds. These seeds were stolen from Hestu's maracas, and yep, they're in the set too. These little golden pieces are meant to represent Korok seeds, and can be placed inside the instruments. Let's build the pedestal. So here's the completed Master Sword's pedestal set. It can be attached to the Deku tree's base, even onto the base of the Ocarina of Time version of the tree, if you really want to mess with the timeline. It of course features my new favourite LEGO piece, the Master Sword itself. It's such an awesome little thing. The blade is ever so slightly translucent and sparkles in the light. This is the sort of thing I dreamed of having when I was a kid. An actual, official LEGO Master Sword, and now it exists. But it seems strange to have this kit attached to the wrong Deku tree, so let's try and pull a Goma, and kill the Ocarina of Time Deku tree. I'm gonna try and, very loosely, work backwards through the manual until I reach the decision point. So let's break it down. Well, here we are, roughly back at the halfway point of the manual. We've still got a handful of unopened packets of LEGO pieces here, but many of the pieces we'll need to follow the Breath of the Wild build are ones we've already used for the other version. So following these instructions and finding the right pieces will naturally be a bit more difficult than if I hadn't previously built another version. Here the tree is beginning to take shape. We've got his new face built, which can be moved using a lever at the back. And here's the completed Breath of the Wild Great Deku Tree, which I actually think I much prefer to the Ocarina of Time version. Especially when the Master Sword pedestal is attached to the base, this version of the tree feels much more substantial, and the bright pink cherry blossom leaves really make the set stand out. Like the Ocarina of Time tree, there are a bunch of secrets here too. The side panels on the trunk reveal the 2 bomb runes on one side, and a pedestal for the Sheikah slate on the other. As I already mentioned, the tree's face can be moved with a lever on the back. A mechanism within moves its eyebrows and mouth in sync to mimic its talking. There's the branch just in front of the tree with the spot where Link can talk to the tree in-game. So you can have the Great Deku Tree drone endlessly on about Zelda lore, much like I do on my channel. One thing I loved in particular about this version of the tree is how the manual features a few item descriptions for some of the materials hidden in the set. They're text taken straight from Breath of the Wild. There are descriptions for an iron shroom and a razor shroom, found inside the tree, birds' eggs and acorns, found atop some of the Lost Woods trees, and even for a Korok, of which the set features a few, and I still can't quite believe how adorable they are. There's even Walton at the very top of the tree, just like in Breath of the Wild, and, like in the game, he can be offered an apple for his side quest, Riddles of Hyrule. So that's the Breath of the Wild version of the Great Deku Tree, and if I had to recommend only one version of the tree to build, then it would be this one. As much as I love the Ocarina of Time version, this set looks far more impressive on a shelf. It's clear that real passion went into the development of both kits. Both hide secrets that show that they were designed by actual fans of the Zelda games, and both are just really fun to build. I do need to give a huge thank you to the LEGO group for sending me out a set and for sponsoring this video. You can purchase the set yourself at lego.com/Zelda. Cheers guys, and I'll see you next time.